Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at Etrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Tecniq Steelhead LED work lamp. Now this is going to be available in a black aluminum finish as well as a white aluminum finish. This one in particular is going to be the flood model. Now, if you're wondering what this lamp looks like powered up, here we have all 1100 lumens in our flood pattern. So you can see it's covering a large area. So this is going to be really nice if you're hanging outside your truck or camper and you want to just illuminate a large area. That way you can hang out with your friends or work on a wide area. Now, it's not as concentrated as a beam as a spot beam would be, but those are also available if you want that light to be focused in a smaller pattern. Now the lights are sold individually, but they obviously work well as a pair. As we have both of these running right now, you can actually add plenty of lights to them to really cover a large area. It's really going to make that flood pattern. You could double it up, and with that pedestal mount, you can adjust it to really cover a large span of area with that 1100 lumens. Now with the lights running as a pair, you can see the flood pattern literally doubles and you can cover a massive area. So just those two lights alone on this camper means that you can have a whole area well illuminated so you and all your friends can hang out, or you can have it mounted up on your truck. You'll be able to work in a large area. Now taking a closer look at the light, you're going to see there's 4 diodes that are creating our 1100 lumens, and the light space here is 3 by 3, so it's pretty compact for the amount of light that it outputs. Now it's all housed in a black aluminum powder coat finish. It's also available in a white aluminum as well. And that's going to make sure that the outside of this light is going to hold up to the elements over time. Now in conjunction with that, you're actually going to have a seal here creating a waterproof protection on the light. So you can leave this out in the elements on the outside of your vehicle or camper and it's going to hold up for a long time. Now, going along with that durability, there's also a military grade circuit board, and that's going to allow for vibration, moving of the light over time, and it's not going to knock those wires loose. It's going to stay working properly. Now, integrated into the housing is this nice heat sink here, and that's going to help dissipate any heat created by the light, preventing any heat-related damages from occurring. Now, you'll also see, we saw earlier that we could adjust this light, and that's due to this pedestal style mount. And that's going to allow you to put it to any kind of bracket here. As long as you have a hole that this bolt goes through, it's going to work well. So this one is on a roof rack. There's also a bunch of brackets available here at Etrailer for custom fit onto certain vehicles. But really, if you have any solid surface, you should be able to mount this bolt onto a solid surface. Just screw that down. It's got a locking washer on the bottom there, and it's going to hold tight. Now, as far as installation goes, mounting it's going to be very simple, as we just explained, and also so is the wiring. It's just 2 wires. And while we're talking about that, let's actually take a look at how to get this installed in our camper that we have here. Now, we're going to be installing this 6 LED floodlight, but if you pick up a different variety of LED lights, they're going to have the same 2-wire installation. So following this is going to be pretty much identical to what you'll be doing with your LED light. To begin your install, you're going to want to find a place to tie into power and ground. Now this particular camper has a distribution panel that has a switch already into it, so we're going to be using this. But if you don't have a distribution panel, there's plenty of switches available here, and that's going to allow you to turn that on and off and cut that power whenever you don't want those lights to be on. But you are going to need to tie into that power of your battery as well as the negative to get these to work. Now we already have our switch installed, but if you were to wire up your own switch, here's an idea of kind of how it's going to look. You're going to have your 2 wires coming from your battery, your positive and negative, and those are simply going to tie into the same Spade connector as your wiring that's going to go to the light itself. And really your switch is just a disconnect. Doing this is going to allow that power to actually create a full circuit, and when you close that off, it's going to shut it off here. So pretty easy. So if you need to wire up your switch, here's a nice diagram on how to do that. Then from your switch, you're going to want to run a positive and negative duplex wire to wherever your mounting location be. So on our camper, we're actually putting it on the back here on our Rhino rack. If you have a truck, maybe you're putting it on your headache bar or your front push bar, whatever it may be. So make sure that you have enough wire to be able to run there. And if you need to pick some up, we actually have some here at Etrailer. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is determine how you want to mount your light. And here we actually have a heavy duty bracket specifically for the Rhino rack that goes in the track here, which is really nice. Now you may not have this identical rack, which there's plenty of other options available for a mounting bracket, and really all you need to do is make sure that this is actually run through and clamped on. You can see I've actually added a washer here just for a little bit of extra bite. So if you were mounting it on to a solid surface, maybe the roof here, you could actually just drill down, run that through, and make sure that that tightens up. This is a carriage bolt style up top on the bolt, so that's nice. It's going to hold it in place as we tighten it down. So on the back side, you're going to see we have 2 wires coming off here, so we're just going to match our corresponding wires. Black is going to be our positive, white is going to be our ground. Now we're going to be using Spade connectors just because we're going to be test fitting quite a few lights here. It's going to make for a quick and easy disconnect to put the next light on. But if you're routing this and it's going to live outside the vehicle, or any of the wiring is going to be outside the vehicle, I highly suggest picking up some heat shrink butt connectors. And these are really nice because once you actually crimp these down, you take a heat gun, these are going to cinch around, creating a watertight seal, so that way your connections aren't going to get corroded or get brittle over time. These are going to hold these in place really nicely. And then your next step is going to be running some wire loom or something to keep these wires protected, just for an added clean look. It's kind of up to you. If you can tuck these wires into something to hide it, that's going to be great, but you're going to want to make sure that they are tucked away so things don't catch them and they stay protected. And that was a look at the Tecniq Steelhead LED flood work lamp in a black aluminum finish, also available in a white aluminum finish.